this isn't something that you're into, this one is pretty gruesome and very sad. So if you were not a fan of that, you can go watch another one of my videos, which I'll put up there. Okay. So in the early morning of November 13th, 2022, four University of Idaho students, Kaylee Conclaves, Ethan Chapin, Maddie Mogan, and Santa Kernodle, were murdered in their sleep by means of stabbing. Two additional roommates lived in the house, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Fuge. These two survived the attack but have been cleared of any involvement in the case. Here is how it all unfolded. On Saturday, November 12th, 2022, in Moscow, Idaho, a college town of the University of Idaho, two lifelong best friends, Kaylee Conclaves, 21, and Madison Mogan, 21, went out to the Corner Club bar from 10 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Madison went by Maddie, so I will be referring to her as Maddie in the future. Roommates Ethan Chapin and Santa Kernodle were at a Sigma Chi frat party from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. The two were dating at the time. While walking home, Kaylee and Maddie stop at the Grub Truck, which is a food truck, at 1:41 a.m., which happened to be live streaming their work. The two were shows the last record of TikTok use. At 4:17 a.m., a security camera 50 feet away in the neighboring house from Xana's bedroom window recorded what sounded like a whimper followed by a thud. You can also hear a dog barking from Xana's residence, the dog they were talking about before. From 4:17 to 4:20 a.m., Dylan opens her door for the third time. This is so scary. To see a masked figure in all black clothing. She described the killer as 5'10" or taller, male with an athletic build and bushy eyebrows. The attacker walked by Mortensen as she was completely frozen in shock toward the back sliding glass door. I cannot even imagine how terrified you would be. Oh my god. And she's just standing in the doorway. He walks right by her. From 4:20 to 4:25 a.m., a white Hyundai Elantra was captured driving at a high rate of speed, leaving the neighborhood where the students lived. At 5:25 a.m., the Elantra was seen 5 times in Pullman, Washington. A 911 call was made at 1:58 a.m. for an unconscious person made by one of the surviving roommates on their cell phone. It has been said the 2 surviving roommates had slept through the night, almost 8 hours after the murders had taken place. Some friends were also invited over prior to the 911 call. I am personally confused by how Dylan could have seen a man in their house and not called the police, but it's hard to tell what anyone would have done in that situation. It's clear that she was terrified at what she saw and was also possibly intoxicated. That hasn't been released, that's just my theory. Either way, she could not have prevented the crime from happening, and she has been cleared of any involvement along with the other surviving roommate. I don't understand the inviting friends over thing, but apparently somehow they saw one of the second floor victims. They were killed on the 3rd and the 4th floor, or I'm sorry, the 3rd and the 2nd floor. So they believed that one of the second floor victims was asleep and not waking up. And when we get to what the coroner says about this, I don't get how those 2 things make sense together, but there's just not that much information about it. So, I mean, I'm sure they had reason, and they were clearly cleared of involvement, so it's just, I couldn't put those 2 things together. Upon arrival, the police found the 4 victims stabbed to death, each in their respective beds. According to the police, they were likely asleep. However, Xana showed signs of defensive wounds, such as bruising and small cuts from the knife on her hands, suggesting she might have been awake. I'm pretty sure she was awake, considering she could have had fallen asleep in Santa's father remarked that she was a very tough kid. All 4 victims were murdered with the same weapon, or one very similar to one weapon. If you know what I'm saying? 2 very similar knives, or one knife. Latah County Coroner Kathy Mabud told CNN she saw lots of blood on the walls and that each victim was stabbed multiple times in the chest and upper part of the body. None of the victims were tied up or restrained in any way, and there were no signs of sexual assault on any victim. There was also no sign of forced entry. However, the door could be opened with a simple code, to which was used often because the house was known for hosting parties and would give out the code when they were having a party so that people could come and go. So I'm thinking maybe somehow it was posted on a Yik Yak, Snapchat type of thing. What's very scary is that I'm the same age as these people. So it's just very frightening. All 4 victims were pronounced dead by 12 noon on November 13th. 6 weeks later, 28-year-old PhD student Brian Koberger is arrested and charged with quadruple homicide and 1 felony count of burglary. I didn't look into that. I'm sure it was taking the murder weapon or taking something. The Hyundai Elantra that was seen at 4:25 a.m. was tracked back to his house and belonged to Koberger, as well as DNA that matched his found at the scene. The SWAT team raided Koberger's house to find a knife, a pistol, and a black face mask. Authorities noted that during surveillance prior to his arrest, Koberger had cleaned his car inside and outside, not missing an inch. Koberger had recently been fired as a teaching assistant at Washington State University, which is where he was a PhD student, for his unsatisfactory performance as teaching assistant, including his failure to meet the norms of professional behavior in his interactions with faculty. Take what you will from that. There is a lot of information about him being weird and off-putting and strange. There's some sources that say that he was addicted to heroin at one point, so he's just odd. Another thing that I will mention, and I think this will come out in the trial, is that Santa at one point mentioned to somebody that she had a stalker, and the mayor of Moscow, Idaho, which is where this took place, said that this was a crime of passion, but then he recounted his statement. So yeah, we have no idea what the motive is so far. Brian Koberger has been in jail since his arrest without the possibility of bail. So he can't leave on May 17th, 2023, so very recently. Koberger refused to enter a plea during his arraignment and is standing silent on the charges facing him. So what that means is that he didn't plead guilty or not guilty. The judge entered him not guilty. So basically what that means is facing so much backlash. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's deserved. So, yes, okay. All that being said, here is some information about the lives of the victims. Madison Mogan was a senior who was majoring in marketing. Maddie has many long-term friends and was said to be very gentle and caring. Maddie's boyfriend Jake noted that she was excited for graduation next year and wanted to explore new parts of the world. Kaylee Conclaves was going to graduate in December and had plans to move to Austin, Texas with a friend in June. Kaylee had secured a marketing position and was excited to see more of the country. Ethan Chapin was one of triplets who were also students at U of I. Ethan spent time with his siblings on November 12th, the day before the murders, at a dance held by his sister's sorority. This is a quote from his mother. "My kids are very thankful that it was time well spent with him," Miss Chapin said. "He was literally the life of the party. He made everybody laugh. He was just the kindest person." Xana Kernodle was strong-willed and was enjoying her independence in college. She grew up in Idaho but spent some time in Arizona as well. The trial for this case is set for October of 2023, and Koberger will be entering not guilty, although he did not make his own decision known. But there's a gag rule on the whole thing, so none of the information will be coming out until October. Yeah. That is the Idaho murders. Sorry. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the new fluffy mic. Yeah, please don't hate me if I don't post another true crime for like a few days. It's just hard to do this all the time and not get a little bit pessimistic about the world. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for 70 subscribers. Again, let me know if you have any cases you'd